Hey everyone, this week we're doing some live music photography at an all-day festival. So live music photography is something I've been wanting to do for quite a while as a YouTube video, but there are a number of reasons why it's a bit of a logistical nightmare for making a video. It's usually a very busy environment, lots of people, very crowded, so you can't get in and around to film pieces to the camera. And even if we did, it's very noisy and loud, so you wouldn't hear what I'm saying. But recently I went to Barnsley Live, which is an all-day indoor multi-venue music festival in Barnsley, South Yorkshire. And to get around those obstacles, I decided to just use the GoPro, and I used this little handy device to mount this onto the hot shoe on the Nikon Z7. So I filmed all of the footage as I was capturing my shots. And I'm going to talk over that now and explain all the camera settings I'm using and my thought process and how I was trying to compose those images. So I could have included hundreds of bands in this video, but it would have been very long. Instead, I've just picked out 3 and we'll have a look at those now. Okay, so this is the first band, Guns N' Yorkshire Roses. They're a Guns N' Roses tribute band, and I do know this band. I've actually done some shots with them in a studio setup. And I'm getting low here, just trying to keep out of the way of the crowd. Don't want to get in their way, they're obviously here to watch the show. Turning the camera sideways here for a portrait shot. We've got the GoPro attached to the camera, that's why it's rotating like that. And I'm just waiting for something dynamic to happen now, some kind of action, or some good poses by the band members. And the singer comes over here, does that kick, and I did get a shot of that, but unfortunately his foot was right in front of his face, so that didn't work. That's okay. That's how it goes, you have to be in the right place at the right time. I'm quite close to the stage here, so I'm using the Nikkor Z 28mm f2.8 lens. I was very conscious about light, it's quite dark, and I don't have a fast zoom. So I'm using the 28mm prime here, and the 2.8 is doing alright. I'm still using quite high ISOs. So plenty of action now. I'm taking shots all the time here. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. But what I really liked is when the guy playing Slash puts his foot upon the speaker here. And that looked like quite a nice dynamic pose as he's playing his guitar, so got a shot of that. And as you can see, it's portrait, but this wouldn't have worked if I hadn't been using the 28mm. I did also take the 50mm 1.8, that's a very fast lens, it's very sharp as well. And I was mainly swapping between those two lenses. I also had the 70-200mm 2.8 lens with the FTZ adapter, but I was never really far enough away from the stage to need to use that. So regarding settings, I'm using the Nikon Z7. I've got it in continuous autofocus mode, high burst rate. I'm using the joystick to manoeuvre a point around, but I'm not using the pinpoint, I'm using a large area just to put that over the subject. And I'm using manual ISO, so just adjusting the ISO until I get the shutter speeds that I really wanted. So you'll notice throughout this video I'm trying to get shots of the whole band with the drummers in, but most of the time the singer's in the way like this. So I really like all the poses here. If it had just been a little bit to the left I could have got the drummer, but unfortunately I didn't have room to do that. So in regards to ISO, I'm using anything from 4,000 to 8,000. I think I even went up to about 12,000 for one shot. And the Z7 coped really well. Even though it obviously is dark and there was a bit of grain in the images, there was still plenty of detail, and I did use a little bit of denoise in Lightroom. That really helped out to clean up the images. You'll notice the lighting is very red, purple and blue, and that's not great when it comes to editing. It does make the shadows and highlights look a little bit odd. So on the next shot coming up, you'll see that when I brought that into Lightroom, I just decided to make it black and white, and that really helps out to remove all those odd colours. And I really like this shot. It's got the two main characters, Axel and Slash. It's quite a moody shot, a lot of action going on. It came out really well in black and white. So So next up we've got Ghost UK, so a Ghost tribute band, and these were great because they had all the masks and the costumes and very theatrical. Just going across to the other side of the stage here, again keeping low, out of the way of the crowd. I've swapped to the 50mm here because I'm a little bit further away. And again, just waiting for an exciting pose. The singer is quite charismatic, he's doing a lot of hand movements, clenching his fist. And when he comes over a little bit close to the camera, I think he just puts his foot up on the speaker. Yeah, it's just coming up here. And I thought that was a really good pose. So the hand's a little bit out of focus. I was using the lens at 1.8 to get enough light in, and it's even ISO 8000 at that. So the hand is a little bit out of focus, but the face and eye, they're in focus, and that's the main thing. Here I'm just getting low, trying to get some angles looking up. I'm back to the 28mm now. And the wide angles work well for looking upwards like this. It makes for a more interesting shot, a bit more dynamic. You get those quirky angles with the really wide focal ranges. So I noticed the guitarist just had his foot up on the speaker. That's quite an exciting pose, playing the guitar. And we had some nice lighting on the mask and the boot. So I've got a shot of that there. Quite like the colours in this one, it worked really well. We've got plenty of separation between the head and the background because we've got that dark area. For metering, I was just using matrix metering. I always use it, does a fairly good job, unless I've got specific scenarios where I need to change that. And focusing worked really well as well with the Z7. So finally we've got Steal the City. This is not a covers band. And I was just trying to get another shot of the whole band here. Trying to get the drummer in. So I'm using the 50mm, and you see here I've got a shot with the drummer in, and I'm just waiting for some good poses from the band members, but unfortunately just as I got a good pose that I liked, the bassist stepped in front of the drummer, so once again we failed to get the drummer in. It does really seem like a challenge. If I'd gone any further to the left, the microphone stand was too far in front of the singer's face, so I couldn't do that unfortunately to get the drummer in. So I've come down closer to the stage, trying to get a bit closer, but I've kept the 50mm on. I thought I'd try and get some really tight shots, get some detail on the faces. So I'm just getting low again, trying to get in between the crowd, looking up, just waiting for a moment, and thankfully the singer obliged and gave me this shot. So I really like that, a lot of charisma going on. Would have been nice maybe to get the guitar in, but I would have needed the 28mm for that. So I think in the circumstances I wanted to get a tight shot, and I'll settle for not having the guitar in there. So they were the three bands I've chosen to put in, and quite happy with some of those shots. So it was a really good day, some great bands, really enjoyed that, and I'm glad I finally got to make a live music photography video. There are just a few more shots to show you, so I'll put those on screen now. But that's about it for this video. So once again, a huge thank you for watching. If you've liked the video or found it useful in any way, just give me a thumbs up down below. As I always say, that really helps out with the channel. It gets it spread a little bit more widely with the YouTube algorithm. That means more people can see it, and hopefully if there's any useful information in this, they can benefit from that as well. A huge thank you to you if you're a regular viewer, but if you're not and you'd like to be and you want to subscribe, you can just click down there on the big red button. That way you'll stay up to date with everything I'm doing each and every week. There's a new video every Sunday morning at 10 AM UK time. So I hope you'll join me next week for the next one. Until then, thanks a lot everyone, and bye for now.